Dahlia cuttings can turn a single plant into thousands of dollars in free flowers. After years of trial and error and hundreds of cuttings, we've learned what works and what doesn't, so you don't have to. Here's everything you need to know about taking dahlia cuttings. Start this process 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost. First, you need to pre-hydrate a soilless medium. Potting mix or seed starting mix works well for this and is readily available. Some growers choose to make their own mix out of sand and peat moss. Dry peat moss can be hard to hydrate, so start by adding it to a bucket and slowly adding water until you have the proper consistency. The key here is to have your mix damp all the way through, but not to the point where it's dripping wet. Here we are showing what the proper moisture content looks like, and then what it looks like when it's too wet. The best tubers for this process are those with good visible eyes and a thick neck. Eyes may present themselves as just a small raised section on the crown of the tuber, or if the tuber has already woken up, you will see some small sprouts forming on the crown. Choosing good tubers is important, but how you plant them is even more important. There's a couple of ways to start your dahlia cuttings. The first is by creating what we call a cutting bed using a standard 10-20 tray. Fill your tray with your damp mix and then position tubers with the eyes facing up and the crown sticking out of the mix. This method allows you to conveniently place several tubers in one tray, and it also makes the use of a heating mat and humidity dome easier, as these accessories are designed to be used with standard 10-20 trays. Alternately, you can place individual tubers in square 4-inch pots. Square pots are best because they can be organized tight to each other. The technique is the same, just place the tubers in the mix, making sure that the crown is exposed. Miss this next step and you may end up furious. Don't forget to label your tubers as you go. We like to label them with the variety, the date they were planted, and the source of the tuber. The last thing you want to do is lose track of a rare dahlia tuber. Probably the most important part of this entire process is having the ideal growing conditions. Dahlia tubers need to be kept at around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and once they sprout, they need 14 hours of light. Taking cuttings in a greenhouse environment is the easiest and most ideal method, but don't worry, we're about to show you the whole process if you are doing this in your house. If you don't have a warm room in your house that gets a lot of sunlight, you're going to have to build a grow setup. Lighting is where most people get this wrong, but let's go over temperature first. Get yourself a UL rated heating mat. The heating mat must be on a controller set between 68 and 75 degrees. Overheating your tubers will result in rot, and tubers that are too cold will be extremely slow to sprout or may not even sprout at all. For lighting, T5 and T8 fluorescent fixtures are best. Get the bulbs of the daylight spectrum. Commercial LED grow lights work well too, but the quality ones cost several $100s. Set your lights on a timer for 14 hours. These timers are relatively inexpensive. Place your lights as close to the plants as your humidity domes allow. I would recommend plugging all of this into a GFCI/AFCI receptacle. You are also going to want to get some tall vented humidity domes. You'll see why in just a bit. Most tubers will begin to sprout in a couple of weeks, but some may take a month or even longer. Dahlia cuttings are ready to be taken when you have at least 3 leaf nodes present. The leaf nodes are the larger diameter part of the stem where the leaves connect. A razor blade, X-Acto knife, or scalpel are all suitable tools for taking cuttings. Disinfect the blade with a 10% bleach solution between tubers to avoid spreading virus from tuber to tuber. Watch carefully, a lot of people get this next part wrong. Cut the sprout off right where it meets the tuber. Leave just a little bit of the stem intact. This promotes multiple new shoots to grow around that area. Instead of cutting, some people just use the twist method where a sprout is gently rotated until it breaks off from the tuber. Remove the lower leaves and trim the stem below a leaf axil if it is too long. Below a leaf axil is where the stem contains the most plant auxins or hormones and will help the sprout produce new roots. If very large leaves are present on your dahlia cuttings, they should be trimmed down. Cuttings lose moisture through their leaves in a process called transpiration, and these larger leaves accelerate this process. Not everyone uses rooting hormone, but if you would like to, here's the proper way to do so. Wet the tip of the cutting and dip it into rooting hormone powder. It's a good practice to use a separate container between each tuber to prevent virus transmission. One can also choose to use the gel type and individually distribute the rooting hormone using a syringe. You can plant your cuttings into straight vermiculite, seed starting mix, well-screened potting soil, or rooting cubes. Once again, you want this planting medium to be moist but not dripping wet. Excess moisture will cause the shoots to dampen off and rot. You can make a hole in the soil using a dibble, a pencil, or anything else you have around. Then plant the sprout deeply into your medium of choice. Be careful not to lose the rooting hormone on the sides of the holes when you're planting the cutting. You can root cuttings in a 32 cell tray, or you can choose to grow them in a larger 4 or 6 inch pot for the first few weeks. Get this next part wrong and your cuttings are really going to struggle. Cuttings need to be kept in a very humid environment. If you're growing indoors, this is where those tall humidity domes come into play. If you're using 4-inch pots, you can make a makeshift humidity dome by using a plastic bag and a rubber band placed around the top of the pot. Dahlias are daylight sensitive, and a 14-hour light window is the proper amount of time to signal the plant to start producing roots. However, artificial lighting is much weaker than the actual sun. So if you're growing these indoors, you should set your light timer for 16 to 18 hours. You need to mist your cuttings with water once per day until roots start to form. Your dahlia cuttings should start to root in 2 to 3 weeks. So when are your dahlia cuttings ready to be planted in the ground? Cuttings are ready to be planted out in the garden once they have established roots, your last risk of frost has passed, and the soil has reached at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit. If you grew your cuttings indoors, cuttings need to be hardened off before planting in the garden. If you don't follow this next process, you'll likely sunburn your cuttings and ruin all of that hard work and possibly even lose some of those rare dahlia varieties. Hardening off helps plants adjust to the outdoors after being grown in a controlled environment. Follow this chart I made to walk you through the step-by-step process of hardening off your cuttings. Now it's finally time to plant your dahlia cuttings in the garden, but there's a couple of tips you can use to make sure that your cuttings thrive. Use mycorrhizae inoculant on the root ball. Also make sure to bury your dahlia cuttings deep, below the first or even second set of leaves. Shallow planted cuttings are less likely to produce multiple tubers. Now just water them in well and wait for those beautiful dahlia blooms to form.